Tuesday on Blue.
Carla never loved that sick-looking geek.
A murder for the thrill of it.
Did you hear her screaming? The poor girl sick in love with you?
Is more than Bobby can stand.
What choices have I got?
None. What happens with these people?
NYPD Blue, ABC Tuesday, viewer discretion advised.
You love the videos. Now you've got even more to smile about.
Daisy Fuentes' wardrobe people.
Daisy Fuentes and John Fugelsang host funniest videos.
Don't you think that's a little shallow?
I'm sorry. Let's hear it for Daisy's hair and makeup people, too, huh?
And all new videos coming to Mondays, January 5th.
The show with something for everyone in your family, even that weird uncle that no one wants to talk about.
Up next, a new stumbling block for the twins in their effort to move to North Carolina. Also, the Grinch tries to turn out the lights on this popular Twin Cities display.
We're so busy slashing prices for our pre-holiday sale at Audio King, we've even hired a turkey to help out. Hurry in for great deals on items like this 19-inch TV for only $128, this Sony 8mm camcorder for $449, and this Technique stereo receiver for $98. Or buy any Mitsubishi audio or video product and get 0 down, 0 interest until $19.99 with approved credit.
So, hightail it an Audio King today. Ooh, man, I think I pulled a drumstick here.
Audio King, the ultimate electronics store.
Live from KSTP Television, this is Channel 5 Eyewitness News at 10.
A vandal tries to pull the plug on this massive 40-year tradition in the Twin Cities. Good evening. It's one of the most frequent stops for people out looking at Christmas lights, but someone is trying to ruin it. Tonight, the neighborhood is banding together to keep the lights on. Channel 5's Katie Boo is live in front of the home with top story coverage. Katie?
Mike, this light show here on First Avenue South gets bigger every year, and it's not just this house, the one with the cross up there 85 feet high, but it seems like everyone's getting in on the act. This year, 18 homes in the neighborhood have similar displays. As you can see right now, a tour bus coming through. That's part of the problem. Some people love it, but some people don't. And this year, one person took matters into his own hands and cut the light strands.
Where?
They stop and stare. A constant stream of admirers.
Who's Santa Claus?
Well, actually, Christmas is based on the birth of Jesus Christ.
It's a familiar scene. Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and friends, but they're lit up by 250,000 colored lights.
Christ the reason for the season.
Paul Damon and his family have been decorating the house for more than 40 years. Back in the 50s, they won city contests for the display.
We do it for one reason. If you don't have Christ, you don't have Christmas, so then unplug the lights and forget about it.
Most neighbors love it.
I think it's great.
But some have complained over the years about the nighttime traffic.
Lots of traffic. That's the downside.
Maybe it was the slow-moving line of limos, cars, and tour buses that finally drove someone to cut the cords.
About 2,400 lights have been wrecked.
Damon says someone has been sneaking into his yard, snipping the light strands.
There's always somebody trying to wreck your fun.
Steve Connors and other neighbors have put up a $1,000 reward.
Our neighbors have gotten together and we've agreed that we're going to pay $1,000 for the arrest and conviction of anybody caught cutting these lights.
And until the culprit's caught, they'll replace the lights as fast as they're cut. Now, Damon says that he's got some new security measures in place, but he's not letting on to what those are. Back to you, Mike.
And Katie, we see all that traffic behind you. We understand the city has tried to help with all the traffic problems when those lights are lit.
Yeah, in fact, this year the city put up some no parking signs, at least on the other side of the street. Those are from 4:30 till 10:30. So that's done something to ease traffic. But as you can see, right up until now, there has been a constant flow. Back to you, Mike.
All right, thanks, Katie. Another Grinch hit a Twin Cities home last weekend and almost ruined the fun. We first told you about Judith Edgett's decorations last Sunday. You can see the lights are back on tonight, but last Saturday, Edgett took them all down after vandals stole some of her large lawn ornaments. A neighbor saw our report and called Edgett, saying he'd found the stolen decorations thrown into a yard about a mile away. He returned them, and with the help of neighbors, Edgett put the decorations back up and turned the lights back on. The thieves still haven't been found. We have breaking news just into the newsroom. In the last half hour, we've learned a man walked away from Stillwater Prison's minimum security unit. Prison officials won't tell us when he escaped or what he's in prison for. This is the second escape from Stillwater in 2 weeks. Tonight, Minneapolis police want to know how a man's body ended up in Minnehaha Creek. They found the body this morning near the footbridge at 52nd Street. Police don't know yet how he died. A drunk driving suspect is in jail tonight after leading police on a high-speed chase. It started in Mendota Heights late last night and ended on Cedar Avenue near the crosstown. Officers from 6 departments helped in the chase. They used spikes to stop the suspect.
We were able, once we got over into Hennepin County, Richfield, Minneapolis area, to utilize what are called the stop sticks, the tire deflation devices. Those were successful.
And officers later learned the driver has a number of warrants out for his arrest. No one was hurt in the chase. Covering Minnesota, a resort owner dies when he breaks through thin ice. Carl Flackus was apparently riding a snowmobile from one ice fishing location to the next on Leech Lake when it happened. Deputies started looking for him last night after he didn't return home. Flackus owned Steamboat Bay Resort. Another accident killed 2 Minnesota teenagers this weekend. They died early Saturday when their car hit a drainage ditch near Mankato. Police began looking for them after their parents reported them missing. They found the wreckage 9 hours after the accident. A funeral home in St. Paul may have to relocate to a strip mall. The idea comes after neighbors have complained about traffic and parking problems at its current location. Channel 5's Kim Pletica has more.
This is a holy place.
Kai-Ying Bong is here to mourn his uncle, but today his thoughts aren't necessarily on the funeral.
We usually come here to respect the dead at the last minute. We're also worried about the ticket that we will get outside.
Worrying about parking tickets is a common problem here at the Mung Funeral Home. The home just has a tiny parking lot, and the streets are off limits. That means the average 300 people who attend the 4-day-long funerals are forced to find someplace else to leave their cars.
Sometimes people just park right in our driveway.
Vang Yang lives right next door to the funeral home, and he's tired of where those cars end up.
What I like to see done is get rid of the funeral home.
A St. Paul city councilman feels the same way, so he's asking the funeral home to move here to the Minnehaha Mall, where there's plenty of free parking. But the funeral home's owner says, no way.
That's just not a good idea. I never see a funeral home at the mall at all in America.
The funeral home wants to buy this patch of land right across the street to put in another 80 parking spots, but neighbors say that won't do much good.
It's not really going to help. It's probably just going to cause more problems because, I mean, there's going to be more parking space, but it's also going to be more people.
But those people, like Kai-Ying Bong, say they deserve some place to mourn their dead without all of the hassle.
I'd like to see that we have some place that the Hmong people can use it, and then we don't have a problem with the neighbor.
In St. Paul, Kim Pletica, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
Now, to encourage the funeral home to move, the city says it could give the owner a low-interest loan to cover moving costs. If the owner doesn't move, the city may ask police to step up tagging and towing of cars to cut down on the parking problem. Covering America tonight, televangelist Robert Schuller is in good condition after a minor heart attack. The Reverend's son, Robert Schuller Jr., led services at the Crystal Cathedral in California this morning. The elder Schuller was hospitalized yesterday. Surgeons performed an angioplasty to remove a blockage in his heart. The 71-year-old minister is expected to be released on Tuesday. A 13-year-old California girl is considered a hero tonight. She managed to hike 20 miles across the Mojave Desert in freezing temperatures to get help for her mother and 22-month-old brother. She eventually ran into security officers at Edwards Air Force Base. They searched by helicopter to find the rest of her family yesterday. Now, this long trek started Thursday when the family's car ran out of gas. They started walking toward the base, but the mother got too tired carrying the toddler, so the girl continued walking with only water and a blanket.
They seem to be real smart regarding what they needed to do in order to survive in the area they were.
All three are home from the hospital tonight after being treated for hypothermia. For the first time tonight, we see video of the first dog. A 3-month-old chocolate Labrador retriever is now housebroken and ready for the White House, but he still doesn't have a name. People all over the world are offering up suggestions on the internet, among them Barkinsaw and 101 donations. So far, the most popular appears to be Hershey. It's a chocolate Labrador. Just 5 weeks ago, the Vikings seemed to be racing to one of their best seasons in years, but now look what's happened. Joe Schmidt is here now with another disappointing loss, and this one came at the last second.
Well, this is disappointing for a lot of reasons because they could have clinched a playoff spot today and possibly had the home field advantage for one game. The Vikings are taking the long road to the playoffs. They've taken 5 pit stops in a row. Despite the fact that they're now the coldest team in all the NFL, They can make the playoffs next week with a win over Indianapolis, but they will have to play better than they did today against Detroit. The Vikings offense started the day like they were in for one of their biggest outputs of the season. Robert Smith will bolt 22 yards for the score. The Vikings had 170 yards rushing in the first half. But in the second half, the offense shut down. Eddie Murray missed this 38-yard field goal that would have given the Vikings the win. Well, the Lions then drove down the field and won the game when Scott Mitchell hits Herman Moore with the game winner with 3 seconds left. The Lions win it 14-13.
I lost the game. That's all it is to it. I make the kick, we win. That's all there is.
Everything went okay during the snap?
Everything was fine. Nothing to expound upon but that. My fault.
It's real emotional right now, but I would have to say that, you know, for me personally, this is definitely the most exciting and the most thrilling victory I've ever been associated with.
Later on, we've got more coverage coming up on Sports Wrap. Plus at 10:35, that's when that starts. Linebacker Dwayne Rudd, offensive coach Mike Tice will join us. But once again, the Vikings can actually make the playoffs by losing next week if there's another combination of losses.
Seems incredible, but yeah, it could happen. All right, Joe, we'll see you in a bit. Thanks. The possibility of the Twins moving to North Carolina appears less likely tonight. A poll printed in today's Winston-Salem Journal asked residents how they feel about the stadium funding referendum they'll vote on next May. It calls for a 1% tax on prepared foods and a 50-cent ticket surcharge. 71% of those polled oppose the idea. Only 20% favor it, with 9% undecided. Major League Baseball owners have already said they won't support the move unless stadium financing is in place. A political consultant who supports the move says the poll's questions were worded poorly. Up next, the controversial decision to place one man in charge of America's civil rights. And the smoking gun, a disturbing new report about the effects this clothing has on your kids' habits. Plus a new plan to make daycare easier for working parents.
Just ahead, see if your dreams of a white Christmas coincide with the forecast facts from Weather Center 5. The news continues. Stay tuned.
Dodge Dakota owners are celebrating. A recent J.D. Power & Associates study ranked Dakota most appealing compact pickup. But we believe this lease is pretty appealing too. How do you add lots more muscle without breaking a sweat? Get a Magnum V6 at no extra charge when you buy a Dodge Dakota. So come, bulk up at the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Dilbert for Office Depot.
And if I pile enough binders on my chair, I'll have a window view.
I've got to try that. Wow, I've never seen so much interest in our business plan.
Can I have two?
Get back to business, as crazy as it is.
Get organized at Office Depot and get everything
You need to run your business, all in one convenient, easy-to-shop store. Plus, free delivery on any order over $50. Business is crazy, but Office Depot makes sense.
En el aire no habrá frío, ni en la noche oscuridad. Sé feliz con los que amas, dales tu felicidad.
Looking for a bright spot for the holidays? Let us make it easy for you. Mervyn's California has all sleepwear, robes, and slippers for the whole family on sale this week. Make winter evenings cozy and bring warmest wishes too.
Doesn't it seem that a lot of your favorite old memories involve your family car? There was the summer you drove to Mount Rushmore, the trips to Grandma's house, fishing trips with your best friend, and the honeymoon to Niagara Falls. Well, here's a reminder that you don't need to settle for old memories with your old car. Stop by your new car dealer. Check out the new cars and trucks, and you might just get some ideas for some great new memories. A message from your Greater Metropolitan Automobile dealers.
Sometimes you see kids wearing Marlboro jackets or carrying Winston lighters. A new study shows they are 4 times more likely to smoke than other teens. Many get the items by saving up these so-called miles. They're barcodes the smokers get off cigarette packs. They exchange them for promotional items. Some say it makes it harder to quit.
It's kind of an incentive to keep smoking because you're like, oh, I'm only 20 miles away from this, that, or the other thing. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure it probably helps keep it going.
Now, that study will appear in tomorrow's issue of Archives of Pediatrics and Adolescent Medicine. President Clinton wants to make it easier for working families to get child care. He'll announce his proposal during his State of the Union address next month. That according to an article in today's New York Times. The proposal includes an increase in the federal income tax credit parents can take for child care costs, a tax credit for businesses that have daycare centers, and an increase in federal money given to states to subsidize child care. The White House says Bill Lan Lee will be put in charge of the Justice Department's Civil Rights Office despite all the controversy. The only question now is how he gets the job. ABC's Lauren Rogers reports the president may sidestep Congress to give him that position.
Bill Lan Lee made a rare Sunday visit to the White House. As it became apparent, he may be named to the nation's top civil rights job as early as this week, without congressional approval. White House advisor Rahm Emanuel.
I would expect it within the week, and it could happen as early as Monday.
Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Orrin Hatch warned such action would be unwise. He says he wouldn't mind giving Lee an acting or temporary post, but maintains his fundamental opposition to the candidate.
When he came before the committee, his answers were not very adequate on the law, and he was not doing a good job.
Hatch says his opposition hinges on Lee's support for affirmative action. The Reverend Jesse Jackson insists there's more to it.
But here's the pattern here I think you must observe. The 14 judicial nominees held up, 12 have been women or they have been people of color, holding up Dr. Satcher's appointment as Surgeon General. So there's a pattern here. Bill Lan Lee, women, people of color, Dr. Satcher. This is beginning to smell rather nasty.
And with Republicans threatening to hold up more Clinton nominees if Lee slips through, it could get a lot nastier. Lauren Rogers, ABC News, Washington.
If Lee is appointed, he will be the nation's top civil rights enforcer. President Clinton may make his decision as early as tomorrow. Tonight in the Twin Cities, a special tribute to Princess Diana. The Jimmy B Band, a local group, debuted their new song Royal Heart at the Fine Line Music Cafe, a tribute to the princess. Debbie Duncan and Kevin Jackson also performed at tonight's tribute to a princess. All proceeds from the event will benefit the American Red Cross and its work helping landmine victims. A different kind of celebration drew people to these homes in Excelsior this afternoon. The public was able to tour a handful of houses as part of the 3rd annual Holiday Homes Tour.
This is an opportunity for local families to open their homes to the public and share their Christmas traditions.
Homeowners get help from local merchants and the Chamber of Commerce decorating their houses. You can help give families in need a fresh start this holiday season. Eyewitness News, along with Goodwill Easter Seals, is collecting new or lightly used bedding, blankets, towels, and small household items. Drop off your donations at Sears, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, or Papa John's Pizza through the end of the month. You can also help give someone the gift of life this holiday season. The Red Cross faces a potential blood shortage every December because people are so busy with the holidays. To help out, we're working with the Red Cross on a blood drive this Tuesday. It takes place right here at Channel 5 from 7 a.m. to 7 at night. We are located at 3415 University Avenue in St. Paul. To make an appointment, please call 291-4607. I've actually been away for a couple of days, and I get back in town, there's almost no snow on the ground. I understand you've had lots of sunshine, warm temperatures, been very nice.
Yes, it's been a tremendous 3-day stretch. We've had melting snow, we've had sunshine, 40-degree temperatures, and we may actually push the envelope just a little bit tomorrow and actually flirt with a 50-degree high. Outside currently, well, the sun is set, but it was a very pretty day, again, with that bright sunshine, and we're looking at pretty much a full moon tonight. 29 degrees is our current reading, 81% relative humidity. The barometer falling to 9.85, and the wind is fairly light. 45 our high, the record high 52 from 1894. No snowfall for the 3rd consecutive day. And there's a check of your sunrise and sunset times for Monday. Well, around the country, very warm today in the Dakotas. 60-degree high temperatures. Bismarck shattering a record high that was in existence for 103 years. Rain with mountain snows out west, and cold enough for snow in Mississippi. The central and southern part of Mississippi, up to 10 inches of very wet snow from Jackson southward. And they're actually getting a little bit of light snow and freezing rain in the Florida Panhandle tonight with that big system across the southeast. So cool air in the east and south, warm up here in the Plain States, and the approaching system is out west that could affect us by later in the week. 31 in Duluth, 29 in the Twin Cities, 40 still at this hour out in Marshall. And again tomorrow, some 50-degree highs. The ground is bare. There's going to be some sunshine absorbed into that ground that will warm the air up very nicely tomorrow, with 40s well up toward Hibbing and Bemidji. And then for tomorrow, a little Pacific front tries to cut across the state, and that may actually lower temperatures some 8 or 10 degrees for Tuesday, but it still will be above average. Overnight tonight, a mostly clear sky, dropping to 25, light southwest wind. Tomorrow morning, a temperature of 32 with bright sunshine, maybe a little patchy fog in spots. And then for the afternoon, mostly sunny, near record warmth, 48. The record high for tomorrow is 49 degrees. Tuesday and Wednesday, partly sunny, slight chance of sprinkles or flurries on Thursday, slightly colder on Friday with a chance of light snow, but I do not expect that to be a great deal of snow accumulation for us. And this is my final broadcast at KSTP. It's a sad yet exciting time and a treasured opportunity to say good luck and goodbye. I'm proud of the work that we do here, and I also have to thank everybody that helps put this program together day in and day out. They just don't get enough credit. Jim, Guy, and Dave Dahl, they're great to work with, and they will continue to provide you the very best local weather coverage. And to you, the viewer, nothing happens without you, so I'm greatly indebted to your watching habits. From Wisconsin through greater Minnesota to the Twin Cities, I've spoken with many of you, and I greatly appreciate your words of encouragement. Now, for my situation, my only child was born here, so we'll be back to visit from time to time. We're going to take some time off through the holidays to see relatives in Oklahoma and Texas, and then go to a destination that I'm not even sure of yet. But keep turning on that TV as you travel around the country, and someday you'll find me. I leave you with this: let your smile be as bright as the sun on a clear day, and always look for the silver lining when those clouds move overhead. Mike, it kind of ends the way it started 3.5 years ago. You in that chair, me in this one. It's been a great time.
It's been a great time. We're going to miss your accuracy, your professionalism. You've been a good friend, and wish you all the best. And we'll see you again in a little bit.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, David, thank you. Well, the winner at the box office this weekend scored the biggest December opening ever.
In these premises. I'm going to go get me some coffee, donuts, Prozac, and I'll be back when you guys start talking about something a little more saved by the bellish, all right?
The teen killer sequel Scream 2 slashed its way to the top, earning an estimated $39.2 million. It beats the record set last year by Beavis and Butthead Do America. Flubber finished second, followed by the Tim Allen, Kirstie Alley comedy For Richer or Poorer. Rounding out the top 5, Home Alone 3 and Steven Spielberg's historical drama Amistad. A piece of history causes a major evacuation. Up next, the 2-ton discovery stirring up fear in Germany.
There it is.
Also ahead, an elaborate attempt to save the koalas in Australia.
This Eyewitness News weather report is brought to you by U.S. West Express Calling Card.
This is an investment fund manager from one of our competitors. He alone handles millions of dollars in funds, possibly your money. He works hard. He deserves a vacation. The question is, who's minding the store? At American Century, our mutual funds are managed by teams. When one of us goes on vacation, your money doesn't.
Come see a rather large exhibition about a small, small world. The architecture of reassurance, designing the Disney theme parks at the Walker Arts Center now through January 18th.
After $1,500 cash back, a 98 Dodge Neon is priced considerably less than Honda Civic, Toyota Corolla, and Saturn. So draw your own conclusions at the friendly Dodge dealer near you. How do you make a new 98 Dodge Neon go even faster? Offer $1,500 cash back or 1.9 financing for up to 60 months that can save you over $2,700. So before this offer ends, step on it to the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Tomorrow on Eyewitness News Morning.
Down south in Florida where it's warm.
Myrtle Beach, we'll play a little golf. Sound good? See how you and your family can escape winter without breaking the bank.
Plus, more and more young athletes are having heart attacks. Is your child at risk? Overnight breaking news and weather tomorrow on Eyewitness News Morning.
Covering the world tonight, a 2-ton World War II bomb forced the biggest evacuation in Germany since the war. Thousands of people had to leave their homes today while experts defused the bomb. It took an hour and a half. The work was slowed because the detonator had corroded. Germany found out about the bomb through recently declassified U.S. reconnaissance photos. Teams of rescuers are combing burned areas of Australia looking for koala bears. Fierce brush fires recently destroyed huge tracts of forest.
Her eyes have been burnt, and she had a baby in a pouch, and that didn't survive. She stopped lactating.
Actually, the koalas are not bears. This koala, along with dozens of others, are expected to survive. Volunteers are using this new odd-shaped device to locate the animals. Rescuers have learned many of the koalas went to the ground to survive the extreme heat. This is something they've never before documented. Yeah. Well, all that math they use to figure out who makes the NFL playoffs got a lot easier today. Joe Schmidt is here for his take.
Well, they better win. The Vikings better win to get there. Make it the easy way. Well, the Vikings are still part of the equation, but the offense put up the numbers against the Lions today. Sports is next.
When Christmas shopping comes around, I go to Walmart. I can get everything from our decorations to the kids' toys, anything that I need.
I more or less push the cart.
I do the work. Bill supervises. We've got children's spread all over this world. So if I find something that's really neat, I'll just buy like half a dozen. I love to find a great deal, especially at Christmas time. We get the stuff, box it up, out it goes. Walmart, it's helped me save money for 30 years.
Nobody beats the big man in the middle, but even I can't eat this whole encore entree. If I can't slam dunk these juicy, flame-broiled Salisbury steaks, nobody can.
Time out, big guy. Encore's a 2-pound family-size entree.
I don't have a family.
Then I'll bring mine. Your house at 5?
Cool.
Al, this encore lasagna is...
Your place, 6 tomorrow.
For tasting more, it's encore.
To be fair, the best way to judge something new is to simply compare it to what has come before. Head to head, apples to apples. Except in this case, it wouldn't be fair and not so simple. Because this time, what's new is not an apple. The daring new Audi A6. Imagine how the apples must feel.
It's a smile, it's a look like romance in a book. It's in your heart.
During the holidays at Gordon's, you can choose this beautiful diamond bangle for just $7.99. You can also surprise her with this incredible stocking stuffer for $12.99. Or light up the tree with a spectacular diamond bangle for just $19.99. Now at Gordon's.
We'll make you shine.
Gordon's Jewelers, since 1905.
The defense has been the Vikings' weakness all year, but today they deserve much better. The Vikings say they don't point fingers, but it's hard not to pin this loss on the Vikings' offense in the second half. The Vikings' defense had their best goal line stand of the season in the third quarter when they stopped Barry Sanders on 4th and goal from the 1. But the offense did not make a third down conversion in the second half. They only had 2 first downs in the half. Then an Eddie Murray missed field goal. The Lions took advantage of this questionable interference call against Dwayne Washington. That set up the game-winning touchdown. It's tough to stop Herman Moore on this play. The Lions beat the Vikings 14-13. That's the 5th loss in a row for Denny Green, the most ever for the Vikes under Green.
It's a wake-up call, you know. Our defense went out there and did an excellent job, you know, and we just needed to put another touchdown on the board, and then would have been a different outcome.
13 points isn't enough. 1 touchdown isn't enough. This loss was ours. And the defense did a great job today against a potent offense.
When something happens you don't like, you just got to take it like a man.
It's pretty simple right now for the Vikings. Beat Indianapolis next week, and they're in. If they lose, well, they don't deserve to be there anyway. Because the Vikings lost, Tony Dungy and the Tampa Bay Bucks are in the playoffs for the first time since 1982. Ronald Reagan was in his 2nd year as president then. The Bucks didn't look much like a playoff team today. Trent Dilfer with a great pass here, but the Jets' Otis Smith takes it 41 yards, 10-0 Jets the time. The very next drive, Dilfer picked off by Smith again. This time he goes 51 yards. As the route was on, the Jets win it 31-0 over Tampa. Ending Carolina's season has become the annual event for the Green Bay Packers. In a rematch of last year's NFC title game, Brett Favre was the villain again. He threw for 256 yards and 3 touchdowns. Antonio Freeman on a 58-yarder here. Even backup running back Aaron Hayden got into the act. He scores from 8 yards out. 31-10 Packers. Carolina is now out of the playoffs. The math became easier in the NFC wildcard race. Tampa Bay is in. The Vikings clinch a win against Indiana next week if they win. So would Detroit if they beat the Bears. Washington must beat Philly next week to stay alive, and either the Vikings or the Lions has to lose to open up a spot for the Redskins. Now, usually a team that is fighting for a playoff spot would give anything to play a 3-12 football team. But after the Vikings saw what the Colts did to Miami today, they're not sure they want to play these guys. They're hot right now. The Colts came up strong and never let out. Jim Harbaugh threw 3 touchdown passes to tight end Kent Dilger. This one from 31 yards out. The Colts beat Miami 41-0. It was Miami's first shutout in 162 games. For the play of the day, we go to the Jets-Tampa game. Opening kickoff of the second half. The Jets' Leon Johnson takes the ball 1 yard deep. He's just a green streak from there. 101 yards, not bad for the rookie. On the scoreboard tonight, bye-bye Barry. Dallas loses again. Atlanta over Philadelphia. Jacksonville topped Buffalo. Seattle by 1 over Oakland. New Orleans wins again over Arizona. And Chicago in a snoozer over St. Louis. Lehman plays for a title. That's next.
Winter in Minnesota. It gets ugly. Bitter cold, blowing snow, bumper-to-bumper traffic. So we thought a little Mozart would help. But actually, Dave Dahl's forecast would help more. He's accurate, and he's got the experience to get you through the worst. After all, he's Minnesota's weather expert. Mozart during the weather? Maybe?
My husband has everything. I'd like Best Buy to help me find something he doesn't have.
I'm the Best Buy Idea Box. Let's get something for the old hubby that has everything. A digital camera.
Got one.
Digital satellite system. You have a DVD?
Yep, we got it.
You're killing me here.
I thought you were gonna help me.
I've got another idea. It's a little mini disc and record on it. Does your husband have this?
I don't think so.
Woohoo! He does now.
We make everyone easy to shop for at Best Buy. Now that's a great idea.
This guy's a genius.
Honey, it's time.
Look at the car.
Uh-oh. Better get Mako.
To give your car a rebirth, get Mako's Ambassador Paint for $189.95.
It's safe to say that dinner's on Jeff Maggart and Steve Elkington tonight. They won the Diners Club match today. Tom Lehman and Duffy Waldorf were perfect throughout the first 3 days. This shot from Lehman was not. He missed on a birdie try. Elkington hit shots like this one on the 9th to take the tourney with his partner Maggart. For their efforts, they win $220,000. A major milestone tonight for a former North Star. I can't leave yet. Mike Gardner of the Phoenix Coyotes will score. Yes, that's number 700 of his career. He's only the 5th player in hockey history to hit that mark. And congratulations to Mike Gardner. Now I can come over. I was just so anxious for the little going away party we're having for Dave here.
That'll be coming up.
Sports Wrap coming up next.
All right, Joe, thanks a lot. And we'll be right back after this.
Dodge Dakota owners are celebrating. A recent J.D. Power & Associates study ranked Dakota most appealing compact pickup. But we believe the price is pretty appealing, too. How do you add lots more muscle without breaking a sweat? Get a Magnum V6 at no extra charge when you buy a Dodge Dakota. So come, bulk up. At the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
For Christmas and all year round, nothing escapes the power of the Dirt Devil.
I don't really think that there's a time when you know everything. See? I mean, Albert Einstein didn't know everything. Did he know how to speak Spanish?
Sometimes I teach my dad things on the computer.
There's really no limit to learning what you need to know.
Cactus don't need much water.
The Learning Company, the educational software used in more schools to help more kids learn than any other brand.
You never stop learning in your whole life.
Do you ever get nostalgic for great old cars? Even the best cars from yesterday were missing a few things. You got a steering wheel, but not the safety of an airbag and anti-lock brakes. Yesterday, you got a radio, but nothing like today's stereo systems. And yesterday's carburetors, even lots of them, can't match the performance and efficiency of today's fuel injection. The best cars, they're here today at your new car dealer.
This is when we usually do our final forecast. I'm gonna take a stab at a forecast. Much continued success for David George, and this is what Joe Schmidt saw in the corner of his eye: a cake for David George on his last night here. As it says, "We're going to miss you."
Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, and everybody's been so nice. It's been a tremendous experience, and again, just keep looking for me sometime.
All right, good luck, David.
Good luck, David.
That's going to do it for now. Thanks a lot for watching. Sports Wrap coming up next. Good night.